Hey guys, gonna do a quick video on the CASPer. So if you don't know what the CASPer is, that is a online assessment of how good you are on different social situations that pertain to ethical and overall social issues. And basically this is for medical schools to gauge that you are not some weirdo who just good at academics and that's about it. They want to see that you're also socially adept to being a doctor, because obviously in the medical field, especially as a physician, you'll be interacting with people. It is not a desk job. You're not gonna be at a desk behind a computer all the time, or you will not be on a lab bench looking at bacteria all the time. You'll be interacting with people, and there may be situations that are not always black or white. It might be gray, and there might be some ethical issues that are brought up in those situations. So the medical school admissions committee, they want to make sure that you can understand that, you know how to handle yourself and how to handle the situation and everyone around you to encourage the best outcome. So that's kind of like the little background. So CASPer kind of tests that aspect of your application, and you will usually take the CASPer test before you are allowed for an interview. So right now, not all medical schools require a CASPer, but slowly that's becoming more and more medical schools are starting to require CASPer in order to get an interview. As of now, I will say about 10 to 20% of the medical schools require a CASPer. So I applied to a lot of schools. I'll give you a number. It is greater than 30 schools. I submitted my secondaries for exactly 20 schools. I submitted my secondaries for 20 schools. And out of those 20 schools that I submitted my secondary for, I had to take the CASPer for 5 of them. But when I say for 5 of them, it's not a different CASPer test for all 5 of them. You take the CASPer test once, and then you could send that assessment, that score, to all 5 schools. The way the CASPer test is kind of structured, it's about roughly 2 hours long, but you'll finish, I'll say, about hour 30 or so. And it is a bunch of videos that you will watch, and right after you watch those videos, they'll ask you 3 questions. And the video is not super long. It will be like maybe a minute long, or minute 30 long, 2 minutes max. It will be a short video. You'll watch the thing. They will kind of describe what's going on, and it will be some scenario. And then at the end of the video, they'll always look at the camera and they'll say, "What do you think?" And as soon as they say, "What do you think?" then you will have 3 questions. And for those 3 questions, you have, I believe, 5 minutes to answer those 3 questions. You will answer it the way you think, and just answer the question. All right. It does not. They don't care as much about your punctuation, your grammar, your spelling, and your overall sentence structure. They just care more about what you're thinking in your head. What are your ideas? How will you handle that situation if you were in that scenario? That's what they care about. So my advice to you is that you can't really study for the CASPer test. It's basically life experiences, from what I believe. That will help you the most to see how you will react in that situation. So you have 3 questions to answer, and you have 5 minutes. So start answering the first question, and only move on to the second question until you have answered the first question to the best of your ability. And I say that because you can answer the first question, the second question, and the third question all in that first question, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, let's say the first question says, "What is the answer to A?" And you start writing the answer to A, and you just in the zone, and you just typing, and then you move on to question B, and you see that you had answered question B in question A, in addition to also answer question A. So if that happens, then in your second question, all you gotta say is refer to question A. I answered it there. Same thing with question C. I don't recommend you read all the questions in the first time go because then you'll be kind of distracted. You're trying to answer the first question, but you're distracted thinking about the second and third question. Answer the first question as well as you can, as comprehensively as you can. Once you feel like you have adequately responded to that, then you can move on to the second question. And then if it's vastly different from the first question, then actually answer. Otherwise, just refer to question 1. And same thing for the third question. The main thing that I will say in all your answers, you have to show that you want to be calm. Alright? You want to show that it's a team effort, so it should never be you as an individual making the decision. It should always be you as a group, as a team, as a collaborative unit responding to that situation. Be ethical, take be the bigger man, take the higher road, set your standards high, and respond it that way, and I think you will be okay. And lastly, I will say that think about the bigger picture. For example, the question might be, sample question might be, you see your friend in medical school cheating. Okay, so is it right or is it wrong for you to snitch on your friend to your professor? Right? You may have some sort of question like that, some sort of scenario like that. So yes, it doesn't feel right to snitch on your friend, maybe a good friend, to your professor, but what are the repercussions of him cheating, right? The consequences of him cheating is the fact that he is getting away or going through medical schools by kind of taking shortcuts and cheating, and the end effect of that is that he's going to be a doctor or a physician who does not know what he or she is really doing, right? So what is that going to do? That's going to impact his care to his patients, and not just one or two. That's going to impact his care to his patients or her patients for the rest of his or her life, right? And it's more than that. Like, you could also kind of stretch it, right? You don't have to answer to like a point. You could elaborate more. So he's gonna impact his care to his patients, and that's gonna impact overall to the society. It's gonna impact how he treats and expects from his coworkers and his team, right? So if he's taking shortcuts, then he's probably allowing his coworkers, his subordinates, or his superiors to also take shortcuts. So it's a trickle-down effect, and that's what you want to show. You don't want to just answer the question. You want to elaborate as much as you can to show the bigger picture. Always show that it's more than just you and I, me affecting you or she affecting me. It's more than that. It's affecting a bigger crowd. That's why you should conclude that this is the right thing to do, and you have to tell on your friend to your professor. That's just a quick overview of CASPer and my little tips and advice. If you have any more questions, let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. Alright.